the gold standard of die cutting and embossing machines, and it is back in the USA and the UK, the Gemini 2. Welcome to Essentials Corner. My name is Ben Mosby. Thanks for being here for what is going to be an unbelievable show. We are celebrating the fact that the Gemini 2 is back here and across the pond, and this is what you are going to be able to achieve. One pass wonder, whether it be intricate dies, whether it be multimedia dies, whether it be your standard dies, not only at the die cutting and the embossing and embossing with your stencils as well. This is going to be the machine that is going to do all of your crafting for you. If you haven't yet got your hands on it, get it today. And we are going to be featuring the Gemini 2 heavily across this show. But listen, Essentials Corner means that we are going to be taking your questions. We're going to be taking your requests. Anything that you want to ask about the Gemini. And the 2, the Junior, the Mini or the Midi, let's get those questions answered. We're going to be focusing primarily on the Gemini 2, but any of the other questions, you can see the Mini and the Midi are in the studio as well. Debbie's going to be running this machine through its paces. We're going to be showing you everything that you need to see and more. Any advice you want on plate combinations, any advice on what you can cut, what you can emboss, the different plates that you might want to see. We want it all, please. With that in mind, at the end of the Essentials Corner show, as we always do, we will be taking to Essentials Corner and answering your questions. And just to put it out there as well, we normally need about sort of 10, over 10 questions, 10, 12, 15, 20 would be brilliant. Any questions you want. We're not limiting the questions today on this show just to be about the Geminis. Any crafting conundrums, get those in. We would love to hear from you. But look, here it is on your screen. You can see $229.99 for the Gemini 2, $319.99 if you are in the USA. Jan is on the socials waiting to take your questions on this show. Trudy is in, Scott is Laney in Dundee. Michael Adams is back already sending in pictures as the Birdman, and Carol Garwood Beard is here too. But what a show. The lovely Debby Robinson is the other side of the studio, and we were both saying, weren't we, Debbie, at the last show and during the break, how much we love a machine show, because it really gives us the opportunity to show off just how great the Gemini machines are. And rightly so. Let's show them off, because rightly so, this is that machine that for a lot of crafters has made crafting not a chore, because it's got all of the essentials that you need in that machine to make crafting easy in terms of the power, the pressure, the edge-to-edge technology on your die cutting and embossing. No hot spots, sweet spots, no spots, because this machine cuts out all of those dies for you, those trickier dies that you might have had in the past stuffed in the drawers, because of that power, that performance, that precision cutting each and every single time. And then all the extra features that the Gemini 2 brings along with it. For me, makes it a joy to have in my craft room. Let me just tell you, because I love all those newer features. And I will tell you, my Gemini is still with me, the original. Nearly 10 years old, bless his little heart. Still going strong. Still going strong. I mean, I don't use him as much now, but that's only because I wanted the newer features. But that machine never let me down. My machine is still, and this shows you how old it is, it's still the 2-point pin at the back, not the 3-point pin. So that shows you how old it is, because when we first launched it, that's exactly what it was. But it never let me down. It was one of those machines that I could rely on in terms of every single bit of die cutting I wanted to do, with the intricate dies, with simple dies, with embossing, like cutting embossing, embossing 2D, embossing 3D, embossing stencils, terms of like mixed media, because I do delve into a bit of mixed media, you know. I know not a lot of people know that, but I do when I'm making things. And in terms of all of that, moving over to that with the mixed media or the multimedia dies and all the different things that it can cut, I know that that machine is something that I can rely on, because it doesn't let me down, because of how it was engineered, how Sarah, her dad, Leanne being the one that followed that all the way through, right to the very manufacturing stage, went through there to have a look, to put it to its test, to put it to its paces. And I'm telling you, this is absolutely the best machine on the market. I can say that hand on heart, because I've been using mine for nearly 10 years now, and it has never, ever, ever let me down. Not once has it not cut me something, not once has it not embossed me something, not once has it let me down. And because of that, I'm going to answer all those questions that you're going to get in, that you want to know. You put them through. Ben will then
because I know he's going to itching to come. Are you going to come over here today?
Yeah, I'll come over. I've been over a lot, haven't I?
I've been over a lot. I've been right enjoying it, having you side at the side of me. It's been lovely. It does. Also, it helps because I've got an earful here with Johnny and Jamie. And I don't mean an earful as in like they're giving me an earful.
She does.
I mean, it's blocked. My ear's blocked. So when you're across that other side of the studio, it's sometimes hard, especially if you've got heat tools and things like that on. So it's been nice having you over here.
Well, I'll come over in a second. I just wanted to say as well, obviously, we want your questions. We need your questions for the end of the show. Just to reiterate, any craft questions doesn't have to be about machines, but anything that's pertinent to the Gemini, then get those in early. But what I'd love to have in this show as well, and we do it often, your testimonials. Like, tell everybody else, because, look, I'm not stupid enough to go, oh, 229 quid. I mean, bargain, grab one. It's a great price, but what I'm trying to say is it's a considered purchase, and you may need other people than just me and Debbie to tell you how great it is. It's our job to tell you how great it is. So it would be lovely if you've got a G2, tell everybody else in the comments why you love yours, how much you use it, how it's changed your crafting life, all that kind of stuff. And then we can read those out on the show as well. And we can say, look, Janice loves hers because of this. Jane loves hers because of this, and so on and so forth. So the more the testimonials, the better. That would be marvellous. And just also to say, as we get into the features and benefits with Debbie as well, the other thing to stress is when you get your box home, it has all the plates in it that you need. You don't have to buy anything else. Obviously, down the line, you might decide, well, you will need to buy more plates naturally. It's like, on the car, you need to get your brakes done over time. You need to get your tyres changed over time. Over time, you will need to buy more plates. But look, all of your plates are included in here, the 9x12 plates. If you want to buy the 9x6 plates, the junior size plates, you can get those separately. But basically, everything that you need to get starting straight out of the box is there. You don't need to buy anything else. And as I say, if you haven't yet got this machine, we'll talk all around the media stand. We'll talk all around the optical sensor and the storage that you've got here and all of the power charging points that you've got on this as well. The opportunity to add more to this machine in terms of the turntable. We can cover all of that off in this show. But we want you to get the very best out of it. So ask those questions. If you're sat on the fence, if you go, I want to buy it, but Debbie, I need to know the answer to this question. Ask it. Even if you've never fired in a question before, make this the show that you get in touch for the first time. A few more quick hellos and then we'll get over to Debbie and I shall cross the studio. Laurie Barnett joins us and Kelly O'Sullivan. Rhonda Crowley is in. Hello also to Lois in Ohio, Stephanie Theodos. Pat Demarest joins us too. All of our lovely regulars. Alex Gerling. As he said, I only had my OG for 6 months when the G2 was launched, but I didn't hesitate to get the G2 and it was worth every penny. Hi to Karen, hi to Sarah, and also Hillary says, hi everyone, I've sent a picture of my time for tea make. We'll have a look at that very shortly. And I'll tell you what, as I come over, I'll fire over a question from Sarah.
Okay.
I'll ask this question, but it's a funny one. She says, can we see how the back flap moves as the plates go through?
Oh, why not?
I don't think we've seen that before, have we? So
I've never been asked that question before, I'm not going to lie,
so
Sarah.
let's do that.
But I can definitely do that for you. Okay. I can indeed, because, and that's a good point to make out there as well. I mean, we've talked about the features of the machine, haven't we? We've talked about the glide feet, that you can glide along now with a push of one finger. We've talked about the turntable being there. We've talked about the drop-down drawers, the 3 USB cables at the back. There you go, little cute, little shot there of your 3 USB cables. Your cable will be white, ours is black because we lost our white one. Don't even ask me where it went, but oh look, there he is, charging straight up, so we don't lose any of those questions.
Thank you.
But I'll tell you what I will do, because Sarah asked that question, I'm going to leave it here.
I don't think we've ever done it back to front,
We've never done it back to front.
That's such a good question,
Sarah.
No
one's ever asked me to do this back to front. So yes, we will do that for you, Sarah. I haven't got a turntable on mine, so I'm going to do it this way, where you'll see the back open up. You know what?
It's a Crafters TV first.
This is a first, but I'm telling you, we'll do whatever it is that you want us to do. Now, I'm going to start with a very simple, straightforward die, and I've talked about power, performance. The ultimate word I'm looking for here is the pressure, because this machine has got the most amount of pressure. We've talked about it. You hear us say unrivaled pressure from the other machines that are on the market. What you have to think about is what you're doing to put in that machine in terms of how you can stretch that pressure to its fullest. And when I say that, that's when you have the longevity of your plates, not been longevity because you're putting too much pressure in and then ended up warping them. It's about what you do, and this is why these shows I feel are really valuable to have.
Very valuable.
So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So I've got a piece of dual-sided pearlescent card, and I've got a couple of little dies here that I'm going to tape down. Let's put a little small one there. Just to show you what I mean by a simple, straightforward die. Now, at the beginning, you saw me use a die like that. Right at the very beginning, top of the show, I ran that die through there and cut that in one pass of the machine. I had the magnetic shim in. Something like this, because that die, if I show you, has got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and it's dirty, please don't judge, hundreds of cut marks on there. This hasn't.
No.
It's got one circular thing. So I'm just going to put that in and take that down. In fact, you know what? I'll leave one solid and I'll do one with the little...
Couldn't do that again if you tried.
I couldn't do that again if I tried. I'm going to hold it down with some low-tack tape, and if you've noticed, I'm in the middle of my plates.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Older machines that I've had in the past,
Yeah.
not a Gemini, I will stress.
No.
I've had to stick up
in the corner.
top corner. I've had to be very careful
that.
where I put that. So I'm going to pop that into the middle of the platform, and then we're going to run that through with our Gemini. Now, I always say, and Leanne will tell you this as well, for a straightforward die, try it with this platform first. Cutting plate, plastic shim, cutting plate, over the top. Oh, this is a weird one.
Here we go.
This is a weird one, Sarah, just for you. But we're going to run that through the mouth of the machine so that you can see that running through there, through the back. Now, that is a back flap that is detachable. I will tell you,
Yeah,
you can detach it.
off.
You can take that off. And if you have any accidents, and they've happened to us all, and I will tell you, the reason I'm telling you this, Sarah, is because it's happened to me, and I'm wondering if it's happened to you. I've sometimes put too much pressure in, and it's shot through, and it's knocked the back flap off, quite cleanly off. But you can reattach it.
Yeah.
There's two holes.
Yeah.
You just thread it in, bend it, thread it, clip, back on, no damage done. But that's how. So yes, I say strange question, but everybody's got questions to ask. There's no such thing as a strange or silly question. Absolutely none whatsoever. But what I've got there is beautifully cut out with the right amount of pressure. I purposely chose, I know you probably think I'm daft, but I purposely chose to have a pearlescent cardstock to show you that this is a plate that is covered in a lot of marks because we've done a lot of die cutting on there. Okay, and then when you put pearlescent cardstock in, what can happen if you've put too much pressure, Ben? You get all this marked.
Marked, yeah.
And the reason it's got marks is because you're putting your magnetic shim in there, and the magnetic shim is just one little bit extra, too much pressure, which then forces the pressure into the cardstock, which is why you get the marking. Now, Jamie, I defy you to come really close.
Oh, she defies you.
Defying you. Come on, get in really close. Tell me where there's a mark on there. Tell me where. There is a mark on there or there.
No.
Yeah, not a single mark.
No, there isn't.
One mark?
Well, he's right in close now. He's as close as he can get.
He's going as close as he can, and including on the waist, which would be a nice aperture. Tell me, where's the marks?
No marks here.
No marks whatsoever. And do you know why? Because I used the right amount of pressure for that particular die.
Yeah.
And that particular die was a straightforward, simple, one kind of cut at one time, even though I put 3 in there. But that just shows you the reason why we talk about the amount of pressure that you put in as an individual when you're crafting.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. And it's all about learning about that process. And that's why I find these shows totally invaluable.
I'm shocked to learn we have no questions as yet. We're going to sit down in half an hour.
Oh.
That's outrageous. Come on, everybody.
Any crafting conundrum. Do you know what it is? I think we've been answering loads of the last few days. I think that's what it's been.
Listen, worst case scenario, we'll just sit down and have a chinwag.
Yeah, nice cuppa.
Carol says, I love my G2. It's basically the only die cutter I use. I do have the Mini and MIDI, but rarely use them, even for the tiny pieces. I love it. She says, I do have the Junior and also the original. Michael Adams says, Gemini 2 is the #1 machine in the crafting world. And this is what I want. I want you to tell us why you love yours. Give us your opinion. Carrie, I love my G2. It moves so easily. It does. Glide feet. She says the stand as well, so you can get that as an extra. The swivel stand, she calls it, is great to use. The USB ports are great. Such a great machine to have in your craft room. And thank you to Margaret, who says, hi, both. I've had mine now since it came out. And honestly, I've still got the same plates. I do move them around. not the embossing one, as when I was new, I cut into it with a die. I did get a new one, though. I also have a mini and a midi, which each has a place. And I'll just read a couple more, because I think, well, one more, because these are important. Karen Hughes, afternoon, Ben and Debbie. Hello, Karen. She says, I love my G2. I sold another cutting machine so I could buy the G2.
Yeah.
I'm about to make a cover for mine just to stop it getting marked.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah.
Can I go back to Margaret?
Margaret, yeah.
Margaret, thank you. I've still got my same plates at home.
Mm-hmm.
I have not in nearly, I think it's 3 years, Johnny, you'll probably be able to remember, but about 3 years ago that we launched in about, I want to say May time, it might have been even earlier, could have been March actually, when we launched the Gemini 2, the upgraded version, so to speak, and I've still got the same, I've got 2 sets of plates. I've got a large set and I've got a small set as a junior. And I haven't replaced a single one. There's only one additional one that I brought in, and that's onto my small plate, which was my multimedia. I think I've talked about this a few times. When I do cut multimediums, as in materials and leather and all that kind of thing, I have a separate plate for my multimedia dies. One plate, that's all. I have never changed a single plate, which is why I laugh at people. I hear Leanne and Sarah say that this is now 3 times stronger. No, it's not. It's way more. I hear them talk about the plastic shim being 10 times stronger. No, it's not. It's way more stronger than it ever was, because that was my troublesome plate with my older machine. I was forever placing the plastic, which was like a frosted, well, it was like a cream plastic, weren't it, if I remember rightly?
Yeah, it was.
So we've listened to what people said, but you still do have to do what Margaret's probably doing, like I do.
Yeah.
Flip and rotate. Housekeeping for any machines. The plates should not be used in one area. The one area, if you die cut, Linda's not going to mind me saying this again, my friend Linda. She was just using the same area all the time, and her plates warped because the reason there was the fact that the rollers were hitting the same part of the plate every single time. Rest of the plate staying straight. That one were getting dipped. It were getting dipped. It were getting warped. And she's like, I don't know what's going off. She were never flipping or rotating. That's the thing you need to do. You flip and rotate.
And that's also something to say about the folder if you're a manual user, isn't it? Do the same with your mini and midi.
Flip and rotate. Use the plate. Use the whole of the plate. Don't just stick into one area. Move your dies around. Flip and rotate, and keep flipping and rotating, and just get into the habit of doing it, and you'll get most wear out of your plates.
And I'm going to cut this die. Alison Mason, we are accepting photos now. I've got a few to show. Hilary, I've got yours, which we'll show in just a bit. Thank you, Michael. Again, some really impressive bird pictures. Catherine, we've got your fantastic make as well, which we will show in just a bit. You know the email, but if you don't, it's at the bottom of the screen. Are we going to cut this then?
We are. We're going to cut lovely Leanne's intricate die. So it is a really nice intricate die. I don't think it's as intricate as what I started with. I'm just going to put it out there, but we'll start with this one because it's a nice big die, and also to show you the different ways in terms of how you put your platform together.
Yeah.
I did this the other day on the show, which I know shocked a lot of people, because the way I do things is I put my plate down, I put my cardstock down with the die facing down, and then I tape it.
Right.
Okay? You'll have heard us talk before in the past as well about just tilting it slightly.
Right.
Just because of the way that the rollers would hit something, I think that would be fine to keep it where it is. But depending on how intricate it is and how much, you know, how many die cut parts there are to it, you could just turn it slightly so that when the rollers do hit it, they hit it at an angle and they're not hitting it all at once. So that die is perfectly fine to stick in the middle, and then going to do it again in the middle of the plate. And then put on your shims, which I would then put a bit of tape onto there, plastic shim, magnetic shim as a shim, because it is a double magnetic shim.
Is that always important as well, to do it that way, or could you put that underneath?
Of course you could.
Right.
I could put that there, but again, when I drop that down, I don't know if that's moved now because of the magnet.
Right.
So if I lift it up, it could have moved it, because it is magnetic. If I drop that down now and then try and pick that up. Oh, might just a bit heavy, I suppose. Pop that down onto there. There we go. Whoop. There you are. It's fully magnetic. It's not going to go anywhere. I mean, I only tend to use this is when I want a placement die on a piece of cardstock at a certain time, and I place it on there. So a 5x7, I would place a die in the centre, and then I put my cardstock, fit it on, and then I know full well. But you always have to remember that when you're cutting away, you make sure that's not cutting that way, because I think that's what Margaret might have done.
Right.
She might have cut into there because that's facing down. So I'm just going to do it the way that I would do it. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to put that down into that centre of that plate. I'm going to pop a little bit of tape on the inside onto both. I'm then going to put plastic, magnetic and the other cutting plate. So, Ben, could you just run that through for me for a second?
I certainly will run it through. Right, we'll pop this through. Whilst this is going through as well, thank you to Alex, as my workspace is very small and I stood my OG on a totally tiffy turning board. What sold me immediately on the G2 was the turntable. The USB ports are great and my little dies are in the storage. I'm charging my tablet now off the Gemini 2 whilst we are actually doing the demo. And also, thank you to Karen, who says, since you can use a full sheet of cardstock, I was able to cut 120 curvy boxes in less than 2 hours. It would have taken at least 6 hours with the other machine and would have used almost double the paper. Thank you as well. We've got 2 questions already come in now, which is marvellous for the Essentials Corner, but we need more than 2, don't we, Debbie?
Oh, of course we do, of course we do. So I'm just going to peel this back. Now, this is a die, actually, that has a nice little bit of embossing on it as well.
Yeah.
When I bring my, you'll always see me use a particular die that's got embossing, so I can show you how to emboss on the top. But I know the power of that machine has literally cut through there perfectly in one pass of that machine and also embossed it at the same time. So you can see where it's embossed onto onto the leaves there. So if we just hold that, and I'll hold it up against a... There you go.
Oh, it's perfection, isn't it?
Beautiful, beautifully cut through. In the middle of the machine. I wouldn't dare do that with some previous machines I owned. I wouldn't dare, because it would have missed out. And look, you've got that lovely embossed detail on there as well. If you do want to emboss the die, that's when you would just, if it was in situ, because you would keep it in situ, bit of a posh word there, you would turn it around. So if have I got that the right way around? I thought so. There it is, that's better. You would have that with your shim, cutting shim, plastic shim, keep that way, and then put that on the top, and then your other the cutting plate. Right. Because that would bounce into there and do that embossing. But the power of the Gemini, which is why I think we like to use this quite a lot, is the fact that it's got all of that power and that pressure, and it's cut through there in one pass of the machine. Absolutely phenomenal, and I genuinely mean it. So, and did you notice at that point I had to use the magnetic shim because there's a lot more intricacy to that die. I wouldn't have been able to do the same platform that I did with that first die, which is the straightforward die. That's got cut line after cut line after cut line after cut line on there. We've got 4 questions now. This is marvellous. It's building quite nicely. Now we're going to do this in Essentials Corner in about 20 minutes. 10 would be marvellous if we could get to that. Be very good. Shall we talk embossing now? Embossing, yes, I think we will. We'll move on to embossing.
I'll show you photos as well. Sorry, I haven't forgotten.
I have found a 2D embossing folder. I say I found. It was in the collection this morning, this rose. Although I have been through the box and I found lots that I dig down. We're a bit messy, that box, so I've sorted it out. And I have got a 3D embossing folder.
Nice, the carved wood.
And I've also got a stencil, because I know we did it on the last show, but I'm going to repeat it for anybody that missed the last show, to show you how you stencil, how you emboss with stencils, and we'll show you that in a second. Okay. But I'm going to start with regular standard embossing, 2D we call it, where we differentiate between 2D to 3D. Most companies do a bit of both as well. We're not the only ones. And I've just put my cardstock in there. Now, a little top tip, depending on the size of your folder, that's 5 by 7. I trim off 1/4 inch so that it fits inside the folder for the border. Now, there ain't really a border on this, so it's not too bad, okay? However, always take it down just that little bit smaller, and I think what we'll do is, Ben, we'll use a small plate. Yeah, we'll use a small plates to pop that on there. Now, with a regular embossing folder or a cut and emboss folder, you will use your 2 white cutting plates, and that is it. So would you like to feed that through the mouth of the machine, please?
I will.
Thank you.
And you don't have to obviously go that way now with the G2.
You can.
You can, but you don't have to.
Leanne shocked me last week.
Yes, she did say because it's quicker.
Me, because I'm so used to being, oh my God, I can put it in there because of the optical sensor. She absolutely did. She said it goes through even quicker. I was like...
Never thought about that.
Never thought of that. Silly old me. So yeah, but you can still go that way. But the optical sensor means that you don't have to. If you don't want to, you can just feed it through that way. And then absolutely beautiful embossing every single time. Stunning! It looks beautiful. And this is what we talk about, that edge-to-edge technology, where there is, and there's no warpage again in there. Oh, you're going close. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, even better.
Beautiful embossing. I'll try not to get that glare. Absolutely stunning, and isn't that a gorgeous embossing folder? And I think that should go over the side. Do you know the board that we have? I think we need to stick this on the board to show off that beautiful embossing folder instead of that really
I think you're
rubbish
right.
inking. Sorry, whoever made that board. And it's not our Brent, by the way. Right, 3D embossing.
Yes.
I love 3D embossing. I love 3D embossing folders, but you do have to change your shim. And the reason being there is if I just do this side by side, straight off, you can see thin, thick, thin, thick, thin, thick, okay? So that means thicker plastic, we need to think about the shims because these shims are the same width. So the white ones are the same width. The magnetic one is not the same width as the, and the plastic shim is not the same width. And the metal shim is not the same width. And of course, we've got a rubber embossing mat in there as well. So we're going to use one cutting plate for the 3D embossing folder. I've got the cardstock in there. You're then going to bring in your magnetic shim.
Yeah.
And then lastly, your plastic shim.
Yeah.
Now, we'll say it one more time for anybody that didn't watch earlier on in the week. The only things that should be contacting the metal rollers that are inside the machine are your white cutting plates or your plastic shim. If you're listening to anybody who's telling you that you can put a magnetic shim on the top, I'm going to tell you they're wrong. I'm just going to put it out there. I feel terrible for saying it, but you may have heard other demonstrators, and I'm not talking just ours, I'm talking other demonstrators out there who use this machine. Just point out they use this machine, but they may be telling you the wrong information. Don't put, and please, 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 don't put those. Don't put this metal to metal. It'll come out like a banana. You don't use that on the top, and you don't most definitely don't put that on the top.
It can get caught in the rollers.
We're going to get caught in the rollers, yeah. So the only two plates out of all of your plates that should be contacting your rollers are your plastic shim and your cutting plate, and that's it. That's as simple as that. I feel like we're a bit of a stern headmistress then.
No, no.
You mustn't do this. Thank you very much. And do you know what I like, what Ben did there? Didn't even go in the centre of the machine. To talk about that edge-to-edge technology, no hot spots, sweet spots and everything else, doesn't matter. It doesn't. You don't have to think it's got to go in the centre. You don't have to do that.
Seen it already.
But you know why it's one of my favourites, because it is absolutely stunning. And we're going to go up close. And Jamie, edge to edge again, stunning. Absolutely stunning. It doesn't miss anything. I used to have embossing folders that I used to think were faulty embossing folders. Weren't a faulty embossing folder, faulty machine. The machine that were letting me down. That machine, that Gemini, has never, ever, 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 ever let me down.
Good boy.
Future-proofed. It is a good boy. It is.
Good lad.
Also, can I just point out, it has heat sensors in there. Do you know, like our other one did?
Heat sensors?
So that it can take the heat, as in your foil press. So you can use your foil press, which also means no extender plate anymore because of the optical sensor.
And letterpress.
Yeah, and letterpress, yes. No heat with a letterpress, but you know what I mean.
Well, just to reiterate that you can use that in there,
You can.
which is marvellous.
Would you like
can
to see
also
a
use that in the
stencil?
Gemini Junior as well, don't forget.
You can. Would you like to see a stencil being embossed?
Yeah.
You might not have been watching that that show earlier that we did with the stenciling masterclass. So, plastic cutting plate down. And I might have told you this before, but we're going to do it again. Stencil onto that cutting plate. Now, I've got a bit of shiny card here, and it's a little bit smaller, but it doesn't matter, because I'm going to put that onto there, and I'll just hold it with a bit of low-tack tape, okay? Just to hold that into place. Rubber embossing mat, next thing that you put down onto there. And then it's your plastic shim and your other cutting plate. At no point would you be putting any of these in. There's too much pressure. It's just too much. You don't need to think about, oh, do I put everything in? No, you don't. Don't forget the machine is a very clever machine. If it doesn't like it, it'll spit it back out.
Yeah, it will.
And if it does like it and it takes it in by mistake, it'll shoot it out the other end.
Yeah.
As it has done with me on a recent demonstration in Birmingham. Anybody that was stood there.
Oh, never.
With a 3D...
In front of a live audience?
In front of a live audience with a 3D folder with two cutting plates, thinking it was a 2D folder.
Dear, oh
and do you know what it also did? Do you know what it also did? It shot my back flap right off. Honest to God, it shot it right across. And that poor woman at the side of me nearly got took out with it. Oh, that poor lady, I just think of her all the time. I think her all the time. Her face with a picture. Honest to God, that poor woman, she was stood at the side of the machine, and I just feel so sorry for her because she literally got the force of the plates coming right at her and the back flap cleanly off. watching and she messages in because she'll know who she is. Birmingham,
How far did the flap go flying?
Right on the side, the next door exhibitioners. Honest to God, it went clean off right over the other side. That poor lass, this was at the Birmingham Bicycle Museum. She'll know exactly who she is if she's watching because it didn't half go flying. Honestly, it made me jump. And then I had to say, I'm so sorry, do as Debbie says, not as she does.
Oh,
so
my
look how
goodness.
gorgeous that looks. Doesn't that look beautiful? Do you know what, though? I got it fitted back in. It fits back in. No problem.
News.
No problem whatsoever.
Oh, dear.
Right. So that's how you stencil. You use a stencil to emboss
I'm just going to show you some pictures now, and then we'll do a few more things. We've only got 4 questions, and we're moving in 15.
Good.
It's no good.
That's no good. We need more.
Eileen L says, good morning to everyone from a very chilly central New Jersey. I'm late to the party today, but I hope everyone is having a good time. We are. And Trudy says, that was the cardboard, my favourite. My favourite 3D.
Is there somebody in the gallery with you?
Folder. They're playing you back for some reason in there. I don't know why.
Was that me?
That was your voice.
No, I thought there was somebody else in the gallery then. I'm like, oh no, I can't believe. Apologies if I've offended anybody. I realised what I said afterwards.
No, it's fine.
Sorry.
It's fine.
It's the way I say it. That's
it's the way you say them.
It's the way I say it.
Pictures. Where do you want? Where do you want the pictures, Jamie? Jamie, where do you want the pictures? On here or there? They've lost it in the gallery. They've absolutely.
I'm sorry, I forget. I just say things as I see, though. That's the problem with me, and I just don't think. I couldn't hear. Oh my life! Look at that, Hillary.
Oh,
that
Hillary.
is absolutely
Time for tea just in time.
Oh, Hillary, that's gorgeous.
Dear. That is amazing.
Absolutely gorgeous. I love that. Is that a little butterfly on the top?
I think it's a little. It is a little butterfly.
It's a little butterfly.
And what's in there?
That's stunning.
I was almost expecting to see holly colly inside there, but it's a beautiful floral. Oh dear. Next up. This is from Catherine. Now, this is from the Gilded Age. Look at the teacup and saucer. First attempt. Brilliant.
Wow.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Do you know, I've not even tackled that yet. That is absolutely stunning. Wow, gorgeous is that?
I know.
Absolutely gorgeous.
So good. Next up, we have got a picture from... Oh, there's 2 from Michael. Look at this bird. What a photographer this man is.
He's an incredible talent. Oh, my life. Oh, my life. How stunning is that?
So it is a falcon, isn't it?
No wonder he's an award winner. I'm not going to lie, his photography skills are off the chart. Off the chart.
Barn Owl, I know that one. Look at that.
Oh, my, that's so
yeah, Barn Owl's gone shopping in Lidl, look.
Is it?
Yeah, look, there's a little bag in the background. Oh, dear.
That is absolutely fabulous. What a shot that is.
And I think there's one more to show you, which is... Oh, Alison, marvellous. Using the stencils. We had these on the earlier show, actually.
Yeah, because Alison asked the question, didn't she? Alison asked the question.
She said, I wanted to show Debbie and say
Alison,
thank you.
that's beautiful. Look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. Really, really beautiful. I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Alison. Have you all recovered in the gallery?
I think they have.
That's okay.
I love my new G2, says Donna Barnett-Jones. Hello, Donna. Says, if you're trying to decide, take the leap. You will kick yourself later if you don't. Have a lovely day, everyone. Thank you, Donna. Hi to Evelyn Kiefer in Colorado. And Joanne Michelli says, hi, everyone, from a chilly, snowy Chicago. As far as I know, we've still only got 4 questions, so we need more. But whilst we're doing that, shall we have a look at... You're going to cut some leather now, are you?
Well, we've talked about simple die cutting. We've talked about intricate die cutting. We've done... lots of embossing there. We did 2D, 3D and stencils. So the next thing we're going to talk about is moving over to the multimedia side of things, where you can cut all those fabulous materials from denim, leather, mylar. You can cut multiple layers of cotton at any one time, which is why whenever we take this machine, and I'll say it time and time again, and Sarah's going to be there at the beginning of February, I think it is, where she's going down Sewing Street. I know for a fact she will have a stonking day when it comes to the Gemini 2 because our lovely people over in their soft crafts adore this machine because of the multiple fabrics that they can cut each and every single time. And it's, I mean, we're just going to show you 8. But if you line your plate up
Yeah.
and you cutting out, you think of how much you're doing. If it's applique or patchwork or quilts or anything like that that you work with, if you've got a builder block system, that's the kind of thing that you can be cutting. You can also cut things like Essian, sticky back, adhesives, anything you want to cut.
Oh, you've got some
Aluminium. I've got
Pepsi,
Essian down there. I've got a little bit of metal in there, so we can try that one as well.
Yeah.
So there's lots of things that you can cut out with this machine. And this is where I stress about having just one. You don't need to get a full set. One extra cutting plate so that you can use for your multimedia dies, because they do cut deeper. I will put it out there, it cuts deeper. And the reason it cuts deeper, when I show you the difference between this to a regular die, so if I just get a regular die again, it's visible. Look how, can you hold that while I get one out?
Yeah.
You can see how deep that ridge is. And I know Jamie can come in close again just to show you the difference between the two is instant. It's like, we'll tilt it for him. There you go, just tilt it forward. This is quite a thin raised, that's deep.
Yeah.
So you've got a really deep edge. Now, we as a company have changed the way that we make our multimedia dies. Previously, they've always been silver.
Yes.
We're not anymore.
No, make it easier now.
We make it easier, and you've got your copper. Now, with your mediums or your mixed media fabrics and things like that, or your different materials, we would tell you then to use the metal shim to die cut into. But so that I can show you the power of the machine and show you how incredible it is, I've got a plate that's on its way out because I've got that crack I told you about what I did yesterday.
But it's interesting to see that is still usable, even though it is got a little crack in it.
And you could take that up, or you could just use that part, or again, you could just pop it in the centre there. But with any multimedia die, the only plates that you need to be using, and I've lost my plastic shim, is it there? There it is, thank you. The only plates that you are going to use are these four here.
Right.
Now, we do have an option for our soft crafters.
Fabric.
We've got our fabric metal cutting plates, and I think it's the A and B plate, and I think they come together, if I remember rightly. I don't know if we've got any in stock, I'd just check the website, but they're the ones that you're looking for fabric, so that you don't get confused with your plate systems, because then it's just those two fabric metal shims and your two cutting plates and nothing else. The only things you don't use when it's a multimedia die is you don't use your magnetic and you don't use your rubber. Put them out of way, put them out of arm's way, put them out of your eyes way.
Put them out your eyes way.
Put them out your eyes way, you know what I mean by that, but you just put them out of sight so you don't see them, and then we're just going to run those through there. Now, let me make sure that's not going to move. There we go, I'll just clasp that and run that through.
Hilary says the time for tea that she did was done with the floral elegance and the decoupage book that came with it. Sheila's looking excited because HSN craft items are coming, and Eileen says I'm planning to do more with my stencils on my OG now that I've seen all these demos. Yes,
and that's the thing. You know, sometimes I think we're afraid to use things, aren't we, and try things out. But how beautiful did that cleanly cut through there? And this is why I've got a little M&M on the top of my platform, which is the multimedia or mixed media, however you want to refer to it, just so I can differentiate, that's the word.
Differentiate.
Thank you, the plate, because if you can see now, these are your paper cuts. This is a multimedia deeper cut, and it goes in a lot deeper. And our Jamie's coming in really close. You can see all of these here running across paper.
Oh, yeah.
That one is fabric, and the fabric fibres have gone into the deep cut there. So that's why I always suggest having just one cutting plate. One. That's all you need. One extra cutting plate for your multimedia dies. And then, of course, you can emboss things like your leather. I think we've done that a few times, haven't we?
Yeah.
And showing you the power that you can do.
Can we do the, sorry?
That was the one that I did yesterday, and just to show you, it's still embossed.
Yeah.
Still embossed. So just run through, and 3D looks better than 2.
Can we cut that metal?
Cut the what?
The can?
Yeah, of course we can,
I haven't seen that for a while.
Oh, absolutely. So we'll go in. It's a well-known drinks can.
Be careful.
Yes, be careful. Well, I say be careful. They are sharp when you cut them out, but there's a safety feature when it runs through the machine, because it bevels it off. So whilst you're cutting it out, and I've done it myself before in the past, in fact, I'm going to just take that down really well, because I know that it'll move off there, because
6
nature of there.
questions now, by the way. Thank
that's
you.
good.
Yeah, get in there.
That's good. So I'm just going to hold that down. Don't move, don't move. The only plate again there you would need, plastic shim, cutting plate on the top.
Right.
And there we go.
This is going to make a lovely noise, isn't it?
Oh, it is, yeah, because it's aluminium can, metal can. I've used craft metal before. We used to do craft metal, you know, a long time ago.
Really?
I'd love to see it back, because I love craft metal. I've got about 2 sheets left out of all my stash that I had. And I keep thinking, I'm saving that. I'm going to save that. because I love craft metal. But you can use a cheaper option with your well-known drinks cans that you don't have to get rid of because you can use them.
How good is
and
that?
it's beveled off the edges, so it's no longer sharp. So it's beveled.
Oh, yeah.
Can you feel it? It's like giving a safety. And then, of course, you can do things like, well, might as well.
Get out.
You can emboss it.
You're not going to emboss that, are you?
Of course we're going to emboss it.
Oh,
Of course we are, yeah, of course we are. Now then, I wonder if you change... Oh, well, no, I won't. No. I was just thinking... Yeah, because it's 3D, isn't it? Run that for me, thank you.
Okay, 7 questions now, thank you, everybody.
Oh, there we go, you see? You see? They're getting there. You're getting there.
I love all the noises that the different things make when they go through the machine.
And you can hear things sometimes with certain materials, but yeah, so you can emboss your cans as well.
No way, look at that.
So especially, so I've made, and the only reason I did it is because I saw, when I saw the lovely lady who first showed me the Gemini way back when, 10 years ago, she actually cut out flowers from metal like this. And then she embossed them, and then she gessoed them black, and then sprayed them purple.
Oh,
I've never
amazing.
seen nothing like it in my life. Hazel Eaton, if you're watching, well-known crafter in the industry.
I know Hazel.
Hazel's the one that sold me the Gemini.
No!
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Hazel's a very talented lady. She
Yes,
really
I've worked
is.
with Hazel.
Yes, she used to work for us a long time ago as a freelance demonstrator. But yeah, and she's a lady that showed me all those things that you could do with metal, because I looked at it and thinking, it's a can. What am I going to do with a can? How can you turn that into crafting? Oh, the sculpture on that was absolutely stunning. I wonder if she's still got that piece. Beautiful. But that's what threw me. I mean, not only my die, but also the fact that all the other things that you could do with it as well.
Yeah.
Now, another thing that you can do with it.
Oh, yeah.
I talked about soft craft.
Oh, yeah. Let's do this.
We're going to do it. We're going to go in there. We're going to go in. So that's 2, 4. Wait a minute. 6 already.
8.
6. So let's go in with. Tell you what we'll do. We'll go a little bit. We'll go a little bit bigger.
Okay.
So is that 8?
8, yeah.
Should we go in with another one?
Get out.
Let's
9.
try it. Let's go. Let's try it.
This you can only do with like simple shaped dies, though, right? So you wouldn't put an intricate
You can't
one
put an
through
intricate
that.
die through it.
No.
You can put an intricate paper die through like a fabric.
Yeah.
But you can only use one layer.
Yeah.
And that's when the rule of thumb, what I talk about in terms of, you'll probably be able to say it loads and loads of time, you can't put a metal shim and a magnetic shim and blah, blah, blah. I talk about it all the time, but you can when it comes to things like that. That's the rule, exception to the rule. But I don't have that fabric dye with me. Sorry, not the fabric dye with me. Debbie, get it the right way around. The dye or the glitter fabric with me to show you. So, but this is when you're using multiple fabrics that you change up that platform. You always put that metal shim in. I'm asking that to go through a lot of cotton, and I'm also asking it to, I think, probably do more than I've ever done before.
I know, I don't think I've. Is it 9 layers, you said?
I think it's, did I put 10 or 9?
It's either 9 or 10.
Well, we'll see.
I thought 8 was the max, but there you go.
No. So I'm going to put that through, and again, it's just those plates. Now, remember what I said about not having your magnetic or rubber? That still applies. That's still a multimedia die. That's a lot of fabric. You can really hear the machine working there. That were extra work that I normally ask it to do.
Yeah.
And if you hear those kind of sounds, if it didn't like it, it would have spat it back out. It would have spat that straight back out. But we'll have a little look and we'll put it to the test and see.
Hello.
Ooh.
So not quite done the bottom layer,
Not quite done the bottom one. Let's have a little look. Just the one.
So that is the 9th.
So that's the 9th.
But it's still done a lot of it.
Still quite, I mean, it's cut there, and there.
You just trim it out, wouldn't you?
Just trim that out, yeah. So let's see what it did do cleanly
and
neatly. So you've got your 1, you've got your 2.
Can we appreciate
3,
how beautifully it's cut as well?
4,
no fraying, no edges.
5, and this is, I call this a cheap cotton. Don't shout me down, will you? It's not 100% cotton. I could feel the difference. Even though I'm not a soft crafter,
6.
I know my fabrics. 6, 7, and number 8. Just going
so
on
8
to there.
and a bit.
Cleanly cut. I could probably get away with that at a push, but I would have to snip that out with a pair of scissors. But it's just literally a little bit there. It started to fray on the 9th, so I probably wouldn't push it any more than that. But I suppose it depends on your fabric, really.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I had my eyes then. I didn't see what we're doing, but I'd call that a fairly decent shout of the materials that it can cut out. So yes, that is your fabrics.
Absolutely incredible. Thank you to Alison. Says, love my OG, but I love my G2 more. The best things to me are the wings. as my Gemini is on a narrow cupboard, so I no longer have to rush to catch the plates at the back.
Exactly,
That's
yeah.
such a good
It's
feature.
been a game changer for me because I used to, I've got like a bit of a drop, and I used to have to always have my hand at the back of the machine to stop them from dropping down. I don't have to do that now. It's lovely. Such a lovely feature.
G2 is the best, says Sheila Loves CC. I love your name, Sheila Loves CC. And Hilary says, I think my fabric plates are my most used plates and I couldn't be without them.
Yeah, and they are a good investment to have if you do a lot of die cutting with fabrics, if you're a soft craft.
We've got 8 questions. We're going to move in just a second to the Essentials Corner. Just to remind you as well, don't forget, we are back at 6 tonight. Get your fix at 6. Thank you, Sue. We've got Friday Night Live. It's slightly truncated now, of course, but we still fit in there all the games, all the fun. We've got some price drops tonight and, of course, your Friday Night Faves. If you've sent in any pictures recently, make sure you are watching. And you'll come and join us anyway for the fun. It's me versus Debbie. It always gets a little bit competitive. And... It will be on YouTube. She doesn't really. You have to choose your team, Team Ben or Team Debbie, because obviously it's not on Facebook, that show. So if any Facebookers, get on over to YouTube, and make sure you join in because it's going to be another fun show. In the meantime, we're going to head that way and we'll meet you back here in about 30 seconds.
Discover a whole world of creative inspiration on the Crafters Companion YouTube channel. From binge-worthy crafting series to quick ideas for the last-minute occasion. There's something for every crafter. And when you want even more, watch Crafters TV live and on demand with demos, new product launches and real-time crafting fun. Subscribe now and start crafting with us today.
Welcome back, everybody. Can I just say as well, again, I don't know if she's been watching yet today, but just when you see her in the comments, can you thank Jen Shank again for me? Because she sent a load of stuff. I've shared out all the food with the gang. Leanne was very, very pleased with the Nutter Butters. She tried those. Debbie absolutely loves the popcorn.
Sliced bread.
And I must just say thank you. I've got my book to take home. Yeah, I've got my book to take home, which Jen sent in. I've got a couple of T-shirts. And I thought I'm going to take a couple of packets of sweets home for the kids.
Kids will love them.
Which they'll love.
I actually think those nerds are delicious.
They're quite sort of...
They do. They like literally make your eyes water, but then when you get to the centre, delicious. I quite like them.
I sent Laura a picture and she spied this. Laura loves her cookies. She was like, oh, I like the look of that seasoning. So that's Laura's gift.
I love that. Because that's what's in the flavouring of the...
Yeah.
So
do you... Yeah, so any US friends know? So do you just sort of, you rub this on your meat, do you? Or on your fish? Like, because it says crabs, shrimp, and chicken. So is that something that you put on your meat before you cook it or whilst you're cooking it?
That's a good call, good shout out. I'm sure one of our lovely stateside friends or family will tell you.
Let us know how to get the very best out of that. And someone who's going to be very, very happy. By the way, this was the card that Jen made. It's absolutely beautiful, this card. Look at that. Leanne came in and she was oohing and ahhing about that, wasn't she?
Yes, absolutely. She was very, very, very impressed.
And someone who will also be very happy with the gift she sent was Molly Colley, because she got a crab.
Oh, God, she's going to drive you mad. She's going to drive you mad.
Sorry if there's any dogs. Oh, no, Holly Colley's going to go. Holly's got one of these, though, hasn't she, Hilary? So there you go. Colin, we're going to call that crab. Colin the crab.
Colin the crab, I like that.
Right, we have 8 questions, I believe. If there's time at the end, if you've got any questions still, fire them in and we'll answer them at the end. So, Lois Skiathatis, hello Lois, says, do the plates fit into the OG and the Junior, the new ones?
Yes.
Okay.
That is something that we need to clear up because, especially when I was at Birmingham last year in November, I had a lot of people come up to me asking where the clear plates were. Could they purchase them for the old OG, as they called it, their old Gemini, because they didn't think that those plates fit through. Those are our new standard plates that we sell, and they will fit through your Gemini too, but they'll also fit through your original Gemini and your original Gemini Junior. So yes, you absolutely can. And for anybody who owns the Gemini Pro, the large plates, so the 12x9 plates, will fit in sideways into your Gemini Pro and they will fit in there as well. So you absolutely can use our new plates into your older machines.
Excellent stuff. Also a question, and this is a cracker actually I've not seen before. What's that? Oh, Holly the Collie's crab is also called Colin. Well, great minds think alike,
I
eh?
love that. That's so cute.
I can't wait to see her little face later on. Tracy says, I have the only machine I use, and the slide feet are great, she says, the G2.
Yep.
My question is, if I put the turntable on, will the feet not glide? Would I need to lift the machine?
No, it's kind of a flush with it.
Right.
So you can still move it. I get what she's meaning with
Yeah,
that, because I've
lift it up.
mine at home, I've actually got my turntable on just because of the space so that I can turn it. But you can still move it. Yes, you can still move it.
So it can still slide. So you can slide it or spin it?
Yeah.
Okay. Karen Hughes says, this might be a silly question. There's no such thing as a silly question. But if I use the letterpress upside down, would that stop it from warping as quickly? So, well, you can't really flip and rotate, but flipping your letterpress, would that work?
Flipping your letterpress?
Yeah, so when you put it into the machine, could you put it in upside down? Or
I've never tried it.
Ah.
Do you know, I've never thought of that.
Because the plate warps eventually, doesn't it?
Yeah, but do you know what? That could be a good one for Innovation Station. However, I would say, because it doesn't really matter which way round you put it in, because the rollers are the same. Do you know what I mean? The rollers are the same. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think it should work. But are you saying that you're having some warping from your letterpress?
Well, I think eventually, doesn't it? The lid bit does warp, doesn't it? You do see it
just
over
a tad.
time. But so she's saying, if I turn it the other way round and put that bit on the bottom,
it won't warp in. I know where she's coming from, because we talk about flipping and rotating. So it's not going to warp where it goes like that. It will warp, and only depending on how many times you use it. But I get what you mean, because a little bit of the. But what I'm trying to say is, every time you use it, it won't affect. It will not affect your letterpress stamping system, because that's what it is. It's literally stamping the ink into the cardstock. It won't affect that, but I get what you're saying, and I think potentially you could turn it upside down. Don't think there's any reason why you couldn't. I probably would, though, just err on caution. Can we try it first?
Yeah, Innovation Station. Let us do it next week.
Let us try it first. Please don't be doing it at home. I would just say next week we'll get our Debs. I think it's Debs.
Yeah.
We'll get our Debs to try it, or get her advice on that. Because I've never needed to do that, Ben. So I've never really, and I will be always honest and truthful with you.
Yep.
I have never done it. I've never felt the need to do that. But yeah, we'll let us do that first. Please don't try it at home first.
It's Karen Hughes, Johnny, if you want to note that one down, and we'll do that with Debbie and Professor Craft next week, 2 p.m. next Friday. Natalie just said you put the Old Bay on top of your fish before you cook it, though I love Old Bay in my butter that I dip my shrimp and crab into. Oh. Could you put it on a burger? Would it taste nice on a burger? Let me know. Rhonda says you can use the seasoning for just about anything, though. French fries and veggies as well. I can't wait to use that. Next question from Carissa Michelle. Hello. She says, I've ordered a G2 a few days ago. Congratulations. Says, I can't wait to get it. I was wondering, though, would it cut chipboard?
So chipboard is equivalent to our grey board. I would say no.
Right.
And grey board is really thick.
But mount board?
Mount board, absolutely. Of course, you've seen as many times. Jigsaws and mount board, we've dry cut many times. Chipboard, I think, is our version of grey board. It's too thick. I wouldn't even entertain it. I wouldn't put it in there. I wouldn't try it, because I will just say, the kind of materials it will cut, we talk about how many it can cut, just be sensible. And I think chipboard is quite thick. I think it's like as a thickness of a grey board over here. So I don't think it's advisable to put that in there. And I'm just going to tell you as it is, please don't try that at home.
And I'll stick on that thought as well, just talk about what you can cut, because Susan has just asked, Susan in Broken Arrow, can it cut cork?
Yes, yes it can, cork, yeah. Dependent on the thickness. Again, if you had a bottle top cork, you ain't going to put that in your Gemini. Just to be like, to clarify what I'm talking about, cork. Craft cork, we did again a sheet, and ours was a sticky back cork. It had a adhesive cork back, it had an adhesive stuck onto the top of the cork, and that cut beautifully as well. So yes, you can, but be sensible, look at the thickness and think if it would fit into your machine without damaging your machine. Now, your machine comes with a 2-year warranty. Yeah. Comes with a 2-year warranty. Just be sensible. Don't be taking it apart. Don't be doing anything silly. Don't be putting anything there that you shouldn't be putting in there, because you know that this is what we're saying. It's guaranteed for 2 years, but just think about what you're putting in there and the kind of materials that you're putting in as well.
And I know the answer to this question. I think this would be one of those things that we can obviously pass on to Leanne potentially. But Tracy says, and I assume you're talking here about our heat gun, not the hot glue gun, because you've just said the Gemini hot gun, so I assume that's our heat tool.
Okay, yeah.
Does it have a USB on it? If not, would that be something to think about? Then I could plug it into my G2.
So the heat tool, so the heat gun or the heat tool is not USB.
No.
It's a electrical socket, standard plug. Our cordless glue gun is a USB port that can charge up into your back of your G2. So the get this right, the glue gun, the cordless glue gun, absolutely will go into the back of your G2. The heat tool, and you probably would have to ask, Leanne's in on Monday, might be a good question to ask her if it's a possibility. I'm not sure, because I'm not sure how the electricals, how it works, but right now as it stands, our heat gun or our heat tool is a electric, it's a socket, it's a plug socket,
Alex Gerling, I love questions about the MIDI. She says, how can you emboss using the MIDI, assuming not an embossing folder?
I did say I was going to do that in that show, didn't I? I might have to do that very quickly in Friday Night Live. Well, to show you how to emboss a stencil through the MIDI, I did say I was going to do that, because you can put your 2D through your Mini and your MIDI, you can put your 3D through your MIDI and Mini. Your 3D, straight into the mouth of the machine. 2D, you need the plastic shim that comes with your manual machines. You can emboss a stencil, and I'll show you at the very start of Friday Night Live. We'll get that out of the way, Alex, to show you how you do that with your manuals.
I'm just saying, do you know what? I vaguely remember this, Jan. Jan's just saying in the comments, people are saying that Leanne did demo using the letterpress upside down, but we'll confirm or deny that on Innovation Station.
Yeah.
2 quick questions. Eileen, sometimes the plastic shim is on top, and sometimes it is below the cutting top plate. When to do what, or does it not really matter?
Die cutting, sandwiched in between your cutting plates. Embossing, like 3D embossing, is the only time that you put the plastic shim on the top. You don't need to put your plastic shim on the top when you're die cutting. That's sandwiched in between your cardstock and your die. So that's the time to make sure. So any die cutting, it's sandwiched in between. On your 3D is the only time that you would put your plastic shim on the top with 3D embossing. Is that okay?
Yeah. And the final question from Carolyn Zanow. Hello, Carolyn. She says, I have the plate for the double dies. So
the double-sided dies, yes.
Yeah, I don't have many of the dies. Can the plate be used for others? So could she use that for normal die cutting?
So they were designed specifically for a double-sided die, because a double-sided die has got 2 die cutting elements, so raised elements on both sides. So that's why we needed a different plate that goes in there. Now, I have heard a lot of mixed reviews about this. I've never done it this way because I didn't find it work cleanly enough for me.
Okay.
To do normal die cutting, where you put your die in to your cardstock and then sandwich it between those 2 green plates, which is like a fiberglass plate, I didn't find I get good results. So I only use those plates for double-sided die cutting. It might be another thing for the Innovation Station where we could try it, because we've still got them.
Yes.
And we could try that for you live on air and get an answer to that question.
So using the double-sided die plates for normal die cutting?
Absolutely. I've heard a lot in the community. I've heard a lot of people talk about it. And all I'm going to say is I've never had a good result from that. And so I don't use it for that. I just use it for my double-sided dies. But we can try that for you. We'll put that as another question.
We will.
For next Friday's double-sided plates
using
to put
the
a normal
double-sided
die.
plates, cutting normal dies. Yeah. That's from Carolyn Zanow.
And do you know what? The best person's going to be on next week, our Debs. She'll try it out for you. She may have already done it. Yeah. She may have already tried that and be able to give you that answer to that question. I just found I didn't get a good result, so I don't do that.
That's the show to do it on as well, which is brilliant. So, we'll get Debbie and Professor Craft onto the case there. Well, hopefully he's on the show next week. We didn't see him this week, did we? Didn't turn up. God, he didn't,
no.
Give him one show and he just disappears.
I know. I only had him once, that was it.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. I must have scared him off.
Well, maybe. I mean, who knows? He was a bit of a strange guy, wasn't he?
I liked Professor Craft.
Yeah.
I've got crabs on mine now because of the crab down there. Professor Crab. Professor Crab. Craft. You never know. You never know when he'll make another appearance.
Oh, dear. Come back in an hour. Because we are here for Friday Night Live. We've got the games tonight for you. We've got price drops tonight. We've got your Friday night faves as well. And we'll also do that embossing with the MIDI for you as well. So thanks for joining us. Massive thank you to Debbie. And thank you to all of you for watching Friday Night Live is on YouTube tonight, don't forget. So come across and join us. Let's make it a bumper show. Let's have loads of fun. And we'll see you on YouTube for Friday Night Live in an hour's time. Until then, bye for now.